Hi, everybody, and welcome back. My name's Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. So, today I'm going to start out with a story. So, I my internet's been really all wonky, like not just like my home internet, but like my phone internet. And I used to go to the library all the time to upload videos, but then I got it to the point where I could like upload them at night while I was sleeping. Like I just set them all day to upload, and then for some reason it hasn't been doing that. And I don't know what's going on with it, but past few days I've been going to the library to upload my videos. And I love my librarians. They're like the sweetest people in the world. And they're like, "Where have you been? We haven't seen you in a while." And blah blah blah, so on and so forth, right? So today I went to the library to upload the videos I did last night. And I went in, and there was a young couple. Guy was sitting there on his iPad. Girl was like laying on him, completely asleep. And so I immediately thought, because she was sleeping, and we have like the library has like these really comfortable like couch slash chair type things that are like two chairs pushed together, and there's like definitely a wedge, but like the way she was laying on him, her body kind of like arched over the wedge, so it wouldn't have bothered her. And even so, like the wedge is super soft. So I thought, couple down on their luck. That was my guess, and I think it was a good guess initially. Now, hear me out. They were in the guy was in nicer clothes than the girl, but it libraries are frequently like a good place for people who don't have a place to go when it's warm or it's cold or in general, so that they can be sheltered from the outside. It's free. Librarians are very friendly, kind people typically. Well, you always think of like the stereotypical shh librarian. Most aren't that way. Most are like really, really kind and caring people. And most don't even shh you. Um, so I don't know if I've kind of set the background. So I begin uploading my videos, and I'm on like the couch. Like the two couches are across from each other, and it's also like the best internet in the library. Actually, they were sitting at the best internet in the library, but it's like 5-10 feet. I can deal. So I went ahead and started doing my things and everything, and then she woke up. Now, if you've watched me for any amount of time, you probably know that I have some weird quirks about me. One of the things is I cannot stand the sound of chewing, especially if like somebody's smacking their food or like loud crunching. Some days it's so bad where I can't stand the sound of myself eating, like where the sound of the noise my own mouth makes is annoying. Or I will have to have my kid like go away from me while they're eating, um because I just can't deal with it. I'll have to either go outside, or they'll go outside, or I'll go in my room or something, because like it really bothers me. It's kind of one of my things. So the girl wakes up, and she proceeds to eat something very crunchy. I don't know what it was, but I know that it was annoying me, because she was crunching loudly and belching loudly. And so I would occasionally like glance up, and I'm sure I looked really annoyed, because like it really was bothering me. And I try and be respectful of others and understand that we all live in a world together and we have to get along. But oh my God, if my students had done this in a lunchroom setting, I would have talked to them about table manners. And that's not just because of me and my food sounds thing. A lot of teachers I know would have talked to the students about appropriate table manners. My students, most of my students would have been annoyed by it and talked to her. I know one kid who would have like walked up and gotten in her face about it and been like, "What is wrong with you?" Like, it was loud crunching and belching. And I don't know if it was my clear irritation about it that made her upset, or if it was something else. But suddenly she became very jealous of me, it seemed. Like she started looking at me funny, and then started saying some like really inappropriate things to her guy, like her boyfriend, like things that you just don't say in a library. Things that you expect in a what do YouTubers say? In a corn movie? Like very, very graphic things. And I realized something upon leaving. I I have a small library, and like it's not my library, it's the city's library, but like it's a small library. And there was an elderly couple in their like, I don't know, 60s or 70s. They were kind of that hard age to tell, where like were they closer to my parents' age or my grandparents' age? I couldn't really tell. And it could just be too that like when I think of a certain thing, I think of like my grandparents' age, and I still haven't like caught up to the factor that my parents have aged, and I'm kind of in that like weird, but anyways, like they were clear in the children's section and had taken over the children's section to avoid it. So like so the couple definitely had some things going on. And I realized two things. And two of them actually pertain to frugality. So I am going to take them. You know what? I'm going to just do them both in the same thing. No, you know what? I'm going to separate them. I'm going to start with the girl. The girl, I was able to gather eventually that they were both drug addicts. That they were from Chicago. They were visiting our tiny town for recreational drugs. And that I'll go over in the other video more. And I'll try and like link them together with like a little thing on the thing or something. Anyways, the girl got like really weird and was like trying to like do everything, and then she was like talking, she's like, her boyfriend said that she should get a license. She's like, why? Are you gonna let me drive? And he's like, no, you're not driving my car. She's like, so I'm just gonna have it to look pretty in my wallet? This girl completely depended upon this guy, who honestly, from what I could gather, not that great of a guy. Some of the personal conversations they had where I felt like I was like watching Maury live. For people who don't know, it's like the Maury Povich show is like this horrible who is the father kind of DNA test thing. Kind of not as bad as Jerry Springer, but not that great. Anyways, apparently their friends had just gotten the DNA test back from the baby, and the other guy wasn't the father. So she's like, so she wants you to take the DNA test, kid. And he's like, I'm not the father. Just kept denying it, right? So now we have this girl completely territorial over this guy, afraid that I am somehow, and now mind you, they were like late teens, early 20s. I mean, based on what she said, I think she was 21. But she was talking about how her tolerance had gone down since having the baby, but the baby wasn't there, which, I mean, kind of a good thing, I guess. And it was just like a really, really kind of a weird thing. And this guy really wanted her to get a license, even though he wasn't going to let her drive. And she kept like trying to act like she was all in control of the situation, and don't you love me? And very much so, like, I kind of felt bad, and I almost wanted to pull her aside and be like, dude, go get your stinking license, because this guy is going to drop you like a rock, and it's going to be quick. Like, he had all the warning signs, and it was clear as day that he is going to absolutely leave her, and that he is absolutely going to do this. Like, it's so incredibly obvious. And then I decided not to, because I was like, she's not going to believe me, and she's just going to get upset, and I don't need to be starting drama in the library, and I don't know her, and maybe she has to make her own mistakes. Now, I know a lot of my viewers are my age and older. So, most of you probably would be more in the same position as me of, no. And I mean, I really didn't get the whole jealousy thing, because, like, do I just represent something that she wants and can't get because she's so dependent upon him? Do I represent competition? Like, did she really think that this guy who didn't even look up from his screen was somehow interested in another girl in the library? I mean, I guess when I was her age, I was never jealous of people my age. I never thought, I never thought that somebody my age was going to steal. Like, I never thought, when I was in my early 20s, I never thought somebody in their mid 40s was going to steal my man. So that was also kind of like a weird thing. Like, is this just who she is? Or did she, like, because of the way she was like territorial over me, it was just like very weird vibe. But let me tell you, when the city folk come out, like, they always send their worst. No wonder rural towns and city folk don't get along so often, is because this is what they think city folk are. It is not. This is what happens when drug addicts decide they want to, come and party in the rural area. Play house and do whatever. Just, it was really weird. But the thing is that I actually kind of feel bad for the girl, because I know that he is going to drop her, and he is using her for whatever money she can get from people. And he doesn't really care. I don't think he cares about anybody. And she's all wanting to play house with this guy, and he doesn't care. And so today's tip for frugal living is to not be dependent upon a guy. Don't let them Don't let them be your world and your everything and drain your very life force. Um, and that's not to say like if you are in a healthy marriage that's bad or something. It's more like this guy wasn't good for her. He was bad news bears, and she's gonna whether it's a week or a year or a decade, she's gonna one day realize that she wasted her life on this person, and she wasted her youth, and she wasted her opportunities, and she supported him, and she gave him any money she could get her hands on. That part will be another video. I'll explain that. But it's just not good. And I mean, it's a lesson I learned the hard way. Because I have definitely had men who have taken advantage of me and my kindness from like a financial standpoint and everything. And so I have the advantage of age. Let me tell you, I really tend to pick the wrong man. There is a reason I have been single since 2012 for going on 13 years. And that reason is because I suck at picking men. So I have started to like learn and see signs and everything. And I think it's easier to see those signs of somebody taking advantage of somebody when you're not the somebody being taken advantage of. So even if you love somebody or think you love somebody or don't want to be lonely, guard your money and don't let them take advantage of you. Don't let them destroy you. And well, it wasn't my place as a stranger in the library. If it is you somebody you know, I mean, definitely don't just tell them not to date them, because I was that child who drove my mom crazy. And if she told me not to date a man, that was a sure way to get me to date him. Don't date a guy. I didn't even want to date him, but I did because she told me not to. So I don't know how you would even get around it, but I just feel bad because the girl is choosing to not be around her kid and to not do things to better herself and to just go down this path. And she's choosing a guy who's going to just like take advantage. So, and I mean, I'm sure it can happen to men too. I'm sure that I'm sure men can also have that situation. I mean, I've known some men who have, but it's I guess it's a little different. When I've seen it, like the way it plays out is different than the way this is playing out. But I'm not saying that a man can't also be in that situation where he has a woman taking advantage of him. It's just typically not in the same way, because like it's almost like this weird nurturing aspect that women do. I don't know quite how to explain it. It's like a very, like, you, if you've experienced as a woman, you know. But today's tip for frugal living is don't waste your resources on somebody who doesn't want to contribute back to the relationship. Don't waste your money and your time and your effort, because in the end they're going to have just taken and taken and taken. So today's tip for frugal living is Don't constantly give to somebody who only ever takes, because it's going to leave you in a bad financial position and a bad emotional position too, for that matter. So think about what you need to do to be a strong person for yourself and the people who do depend on you like children, instead of taking care of, you know, a man child who doesn't want to take care of his child. Anyways, again, my name's Melissa. This year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. If you want to hear more, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.